Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Unbox Live. I'm your host, Rob Gagne, and I am missing my co-partner, uh, Nate. He is actually flying out to Colorado to be with family for a wedding. So, Nate, fly safe, enjoy family time. We love you, we miss you, but we have a big unboxing today. This is probably one of the biggest I've ever done with my cigar pack. There's a lot going on this month. It's in totally incredible everything that's going on. I got Alex in the back studio. Alex, thank you so much for joining me for this and sending me this awesome package. When I opened it up this morning, I was like, oh, that's amazing.
Dude, thanks for having me. I'm always, as usual, pumped to be here. I'm really bummed that Nate is not going to be here. I thought this was going to be my cherry popping time with Nate on board, and I'm bummed because for the fact that I've been knowing, I've been gotten to know Nate for a while and become friends with him, and he's such a genuine and super cool dude. But when he started actually being in front of the camera, I'm like, this guy's a natural. Like, I want to be on the same show with him.
We're just eking it out a little bit further for you, keeping that anticipation right around 9.
You got to make me want it for sure.
Exactly. You're still stuck with me, Alex. So.
Of course. Listen, I'm happy with you. I'm happy with the beard.
Dude,
we're happy.
You got the flow going on, man. I love the hairstyle. The flow's rocking. I tried to do the flow while COVID was happening, and it just drove me insane. So I commend you for keeping that flow going.
To be honest, it's just my natural curls. When I have my hair short, they just they got the flow and the wave. But when it's longer, it just it's too heavy, so you don't really see it. So it's not intentional.
Yeah, I love it.
But
you have so much stuff going on in July. There's a lot going on, and I love it. I kind of want to start off with the El Mysterious Tiger, which is this beautiful lime kind of yellow green box, beautiful sticker, which surprisingly the sticker was artwork for a painting. Is that what I was reading correctly?
Yeah, that's correct. It was something from Rafa. We go way back. Rafa, I love the insert, man. It's just unbelievable. I think that's my favorite part.
This is gold writing. It just shimmers. It feels luxurious. It feels like I'm getting something special.
We'd like to think that you are.
Oh, absolutely. I'm smoking it. It is special, but I mean, already you're setting up the presentation to be like, yes.
Yeah, it's a simple box. The color is interesting. It grabs your attention, but it's a simple box. We didn't really want to, go too crazy on a product that we really want to emphasize on the cigar, but we definitely wanted to have something in there to get your attention before you dove into the cigars. But the artwork was from Rafa. He's the president of Smokers RD. He's the one that did the original Cigar Yard and My Cigar Pack logos. Everything else is done in-house, but we've done a project here and then, and I was looking for a tiger design, and he was working on this. I'm like, Rafa, I'm gonna do a tiger product. Not sure yet what I'm gonna call. I think it's gonna be something like El Tigre or something mysterious. It's gonna be a mysterious thing because we're trying to get something, and William Ventura stepped in, and he's gonna allow us to use one of his blends, but with the condition that we're not going to disclose anything. So, we tweaked some things. He posted it on his Instagram, got great feedback. I'm like, dude, we got to use this. So we, worked on the fonts for a couple of days, and it's actually going to be remastered into a large canvas painting. I'm gonna hang it up in my house, and if other people want it, I'm gonna direct them to Rafa for him to get it commissioned. Definitely something really cool in terms of the art, and then the product itself, I couldn't be happier with it. We're actually going to start shipping out to different stores. We'll get into that a little later, but really happy with that.
So people can go to, obviously both packs get the Mysterious Tiger this month. So that's awesome.
Yes.
I love that. So you get to try it before you basically want to buy it, but you can go over to cigaryard.com, and I'll be honest with you. I don't say this often, but I would buy the full box because if you get one, it's going to come in a bag and it's going to be protected by bovine and it's great and it's a great cigar. If you get a 5-pack, the same thing. If you get the box, it's like it's so nice to hold the box.
Yeah.
And
I have one right here. I keep one with me at all times. And I'm not the kind of guy that, consumes his own stuff, but I got tigers with me every day. I got to roll with the box.
He's got the tiger on every single time he's got it on.
Yes, sir.
It's a great cigar. Henderson and the William Ventura factory. I mean, the stuff that comes out of there now, Alex, you've had multiple My Cigar packs or unboxed cigar or unbanded cigars from them, and they're phenomenal. Like I have messaged you before, and I've been like, "What is this? I love it," and you're like, "I can't tell you, but it's great. I know, I totally concur with you." But I mean, the stuff that's coming out of there is just phenomenal. You're just going, "Wow, oh my god." Great tobacco.
The really cool thing about them, which I believe, is that they've transitioned into a traditional operation towards handing it over to the young bucks, which are Wilbur Henderson's brother and Henderson, and they're so keen to really work with different people, and they're open to that. Robert Caldwell walks in that factory like he owns it. He literally owns it in a way, and in his operating way. Henderson, don't get me wrong, is brilliant and has been working with cigars since he was a kid, but he is very open to people, really participating, having their input, and they have such a nice stock that they can really work around with the blend and allow you to have fun with that. Same with Jay London, Jonathan Fiant with Jay London Cigars. He's like, I want this, and this is what we're going to get. And Henderson told me, hey, you're going to get this. And the result was achieved. And, you really need open-minded individuals like that with great arsenal in order to get great product. So I concur with what you're saying. Definitely great stuff from that factory and those operations.
And you're plugged in. You're like right there. You're at the factory. We're seeing the images on your Instagram. You're actually like working with them, making different blends and testing them out. And I absolutely love it. So I appreciate you for being there so that it gets translated to great quality product coming in the mailbox to me every month. Because without
definitely
that, it's like, how do you really know that you're getting what you bargained for, right? So having you there is kind of like having the lead to the factory. The My Cigar Club factory or My Cigar Pack factory is just amazing because that's what I am buying and investing in. And you're there on the ground, boots on the ground, making sure it comes out every month.
Yeah, I think that's a crucial part. I just flew back 2 days ago from the DR. I spent that 10 days there, different factories, different projects. Between Nicaragua and Dominican Republic, we've got about 10 to 12 projects that are going to be released either as soon as end of the year and beginning of 2022 that they have been started before I left and moved to Miami. But now I went to validate how they were aging, started a few more projects. So we're really going to grow in that aspect and really going to give participation to a lot of retailers and stuff like that. We don't want to really develop something that's, quote unquote, exclusive. And there's nothing wrong with that. We just want everybody to have a piece of the chunk. And we really want to be part of the brand creating process with these, factories and stuff, not just, hey, let's just get an exclusive. But again, nothing wrong with that. My Cigar, El Mysterious Tiger is an exclusive, but what we want is for other people, to be able to carry these brands and cater different product from these factories to everybody around, America and the rest of the world.
Right. And this July box, so if you signed up for is it mild to medium package or box or subscription, you're actually getting some really good cigars. Of course, you get the El Mysterious Tiger, but then you're really kind of showcasing a lot of Oscar Valadares in this month.
Which you like a lot.
I
so.
love stuff. We'll talk about the factory direct later.
Okay.
Already, you're getting the Hunter, which is phenomenal cigar. you're getting my favorite, the Superfly. Now, if any of you have smoked the Superfly out there, you know that came with a very dark, heavy. It's a powerhouse of a wrapper, of a blend. The whole thing is a big powerhouse. The regular Superfly, phenomenal stick. But if you're not a mild to medium guy, you're definitely, or if you're a mild to medium guy, you're definitely not going to want to smoke the Superfly with its original wrapper. So then they went and put a Connecticut wrapper on it, and it is phenomenal. Great morning cigar. It has enough meat and backbone to carry with dark roast coffee.
Yep.
I'm predominantly a medium roast coffee guy, but any kind of coffee and this cigar in the morning, when I was in Honduras with Oscar, this was what I wanted to smoke every morning. I was like, hey, man, I need a Superfly Connecticut. And he was like, got you. And that's what I had every morning if I could.
Dude, I thought of you a lot when we were placing, when we started packing, and I'm like, Rob's just going to love these.
I love that cigar. I remember him handing me that cigar when it first came out at TP last year. And I was blown away by a ton of cigars because there's a lot out there, right? And that was super special. And then you have the Sumatra Leaf by Oscar. I think this cigar put Oscar on the map, and there's a lot of people responsible for that, including several that don't make this cigar but have been instrumental in getting it out there.
That is true.
This cigar, in and of itself, that unique wrapping. Now, a lot of people I've seen on the internet, this is wrapped in tobacco leaf instead of cellophane, and this wrapper is made out of tobacco leaves as well that are shredded up and then made. I actually went to the area where this was actually the band is actually made, and Oscar showed us how they actually do it. It's old time, right? It's like you put it all in a big tub, and you have this big screen, and you sift it, and you get it nice and flat, and then you literally tip it over and set it out in the hot sun to dry.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable that they're making these bands by hand. And then I see a lot of people on the internet going, do I just smoke it like this? Wrapper on it? And the answer is no, because this will burn totally different than the actual like bound cigar. So you don't want to do that because you'll wreck your smoking experience. But it is just a very cool way of like, when you unpackage this, it just feels like you're going back into Mayan culture of like touching the tobacco. Like, this is a full leaf, guys. Like, you're touching tobacco leaves. It's fully veined. This is exactly what they do, except for they devein these.
Yeah.
Of this vein, and then they start wrapping with the leaf, and this is what's inside your cigar. And it smells amazing. It brings the cigar just to a whole new level. In my opinion.
You know, we actually took out these leaves and the not the ones on the cigar, but you know, the bundle itself comes with like 2 or 3 leaves covering the you know, so we got them in bulk. So what we did was for every bundle that we opened, those 2 or 3 leaves went inside some packs. So you could have actually gotten one of these leaves, not the one on the cigar, but the one actually on the bundle. We actually put them inside the packs. So there's some, you know, it's X amount of people that actually got a leaf inside, you know, when they opened up their pack. So I think that's pretty cool.
It's so cool. And then the last but not least, which one is this? Long Live the King from Caldwell. Great cigar. Great cigar. Great lineup for the July pack from the mild to medium. It's phenomenal. It's great. When I was talking about Mayan culture, when I went to go see Oscar, it is heavily influenced into not only Honduran culture, and predominantly Oscar took me to a Mayan basically museum. And there's a lot going on with tobacco. And this is where you guys decided to start Chul Mahi. Chul Mahi means holy tobacco. And this whole opportunity to take a Connecticut wrapper, which I love because you say a lot of people don't like Connecticut wrappers because of the lack of flavor that they bring. But that's not the case. If you blend it right, there's so much flavor that can come from a Connecticut wrapper.
Yeah, which was first kind of exemplified in this Oscar, brand frame with the Superfly. I mean, you take this was kind of a stigma break when you took this very complex blend on the Superfly Maduro and you just simply, swap the wrapper. A lot of people have done that. I'm not saying this is a novelty thing, but definitely changes the stigma when you're like, oh, Superfly Connecticut, this is so different. This is it's the same blend with a different wrapper. So you're getting a different experience, but in terms of strength and complexity, it's essentially the same thing. It's not as dynamic as you can appreciate that marriage with a Maduro wrapper, because it's obviously going to be a different wrapper. But in essence, it's just full of complexity because it's the same, flavor dense, heavy blend that you got in the original Superfly Maduro. So that's what we wanted to do with the Chul Mahi. We actually started going back and forth after I sat down with Oscar in one of his events here in Miami in Prime, actually now at Empire in Brickell, beginning of the year. And we went back and forth, and he's like, we got to do a Honduras special batch. We got to call it. I'm like, let's go back and forth. I want to replicate what you did with the Superfly Connecticut. And actually, when we launch this, I don't believe we're going to do it before, Q1 2022. This is going to have a different wrapper. It's going to be a light wrapper. It's going to be a Connecticut wrapper, but it's going to be a very special wrapper as opposed to what it's draped with right now.
Is this a Connecticut wrapper though?
Yes.
Yeah. So I love the fact too, though, that you guys, Mayan culture, you only get to grow so much tobacco.
Yep.
So you have to use all of it. There's nothing that's going to go to waste. They don't have the same luxury as we have now. We can grow a lot of tobacco, and on the premium cigar side, we can then say, you know what, this tobacco is not wrapper grade. Because
correct.
We have a standard now because we're Americans and we want beautiful things. And it's a lot of marketing and it's a lot of sales focus.
Yeah, and you're entitled. You're paying for it. You're paying $12 for a cigar. You kind of expect, it performs as you want it to, so you can get picky.
But a lot of that is just visual because it
that is correct.
To if there's a blemish on it, that doesn't mean the blemish on the tobacco is making the flavor change. The flavor's still there. So I love the fact that this is using a majority of the tobacco that was grown for this, regardless of the grade of wrapper as far as a visual. The whole taste and flavor is the same. So we have to go back to Mayan culture and understand that no matter what you're doing, you're going to use all of it. You're an Indian. You're using everything that you've grown to consume it the way you want it. And this is going to be a great tasting cigar. And yes, you guys are going to make it look more beautiful with higher grade wrapper, but this is a phenomenal stick already out of the gate. And I love just kind of how rustic it already is from the stance of Mayan culture. You got to use everything that you grew. And I love that.
That's a great point. I think you hit the nail on the head right there, and we really want to voice that, but it's really hard to carry that message across when you really have to connect with so many individuals that are receiving it and stuff like that. But I think it's great that you pointed that out. And now in regards to the art, I'm really happy about the art. This is from Virginia and Sol Rodriguez, who's a longtime friend. We've been friends since childhood. She is living in London now, and she's got a small art collective called Virgin of the Suns, which she draws these virgins. They're virgins, and they have this very, very strong, Mayan looking feel to them. And she was like the perfect person to commission this. She had actually drawn this one before. It was my favorite. And she was actually looking for inspiration. I'm like, I can't find a better one than this one for this. And it was perfect. I mean, when Oscar saw it, he's like, dude, I'm sold. I love it. So thank you so much, Virginia, for doing this with us. And we're going to do some more stuff with her, and definitely she's going to be involved in other projects that are going to be related to this.
The artwork is amazing from the stance of very Mayan looking. the bottom of kind of this mask that we're seeing is it to me it looks like a heart, an anatomical
It
human
is.
heart, and it's called plugged in.
Correct.
And it seems from the heart you can
Yes.
see two branches of whether it be water or blood or stream of energy coming from both sides and even from the center.
Yes, the way, I mean, she's always said that she draws things out of inspiration, out of like very organic inspiration, and then she understands the meaning of it. She doesn't find the meaning and then draws them. So this one is very like, if you take all the subjectivity and say, what do you see here? You see a heart, and then you see the soul coming out. So everything that the soul comes out from the heart. And there's a palm tree. If you can see the nose and then the leaves up top and the branches, it's a palm tree coming from the heart. So it's growing with the soul from the center of the heart. And I think that's super cool and very, very symbolic. Everybody can have their own appreciation and understanding to it, but it definitely relates to what we were trying to look for in the visual of what we wanted to portray. But it definitely has a very, very versatile meaning.
I got to read what she says because I found it so interesting. If you think about, and I am not this way, I'm geared towards, I need to have an end goal in mind and I need to have structure and placement and I need to know exactly the form and function of what I'm doing. And so I am very bad at being creative in a sense of just letting myself go.
Correct.
And she says, I simply take a pen and paper and I draw the first line. The rest just happens. She has no idea what she's going to draw. And she goes on to say, drawing makes me feel good and it's my escape. I only draw for myself, and this intimacy I enjoy is what makes it come to life. So there's no, like you said, there's no direct outcome that she's trying to achieve, which then allows that freedom of creativity to happen. And she says, I can only find meaning in hindsight. It, the passing of many months and even years is necessary for me to look back and understand better. It's funny. I usually speak more to others than to myself before I understand them. And that is so freeing because then that means it's unrestricted art, it's unrestricted creativity, and then later comes the meaning. And she doesn't even know that she's doing it, but like this image, it comes from the soul, it comes from the heart, it comes from creativity, and I love it.
Yeah, I think that you couldn't have said it better, and I feel the same way, especially since she's an actress first, artist second. That's what I've always appreciated from her and think of what she is. And that's why I think it's so cool that this just comes out of her heart. She just does it. And she's like, there's this state of nirvana that she goes into when she starts drawing. She doesn't realize what she does until it's done. And then she's like, oh, I got this. And then months since she painted it, she's like, oh, this is what I was feeling apparently, because I know myself. This is probably where my mind was going, which I think is super cool because I think that's very, very essential first and then, technical second. So love that.
Unfiltered, unrestricted. We oftentimes let the filter on our ego and on ourself get in the way of what we creatively. So I love the fact that she's just letting it go and painting from feeling and soul and heart. Love it. So I have to then get into the next one, which is the larger, the medium to full category. And in here, you were saying in the video, a lot of people have been shouting Lancero through social media to you. What's the obsession with Lancero that's coming through the customers?
Well, listen, I think one of the things, Lanceros are vitolas that you, in my opinion, in my experience, you either love or hate. There's really no in between in my perception, other than really open-minded people that just want to try stuff, which we are perfect for. And I'm not just saying we, My Cigar Pack, other Cigar of the Month clubs that, cater different experiences for you to try and be open to. But traditionally, Lanceros are very, very, love and hate with people. And lately, we've been seeing a lot of we've been hearing a lot of people call us, write us, email us, DM us. We want to see Lanceros. We want to see Lanceros. So I did something. I did a small trial. I released like 50 packs in Cigar Yard of a sampler. It had a few, 1974 Quesada, which is a great Lancero, the Luciano that is actually featured here, some Kazdagli, a few others, the Anastasia that everybody loved from Caldwell, and people raved about it. And every single person that bought it told me that is subscribed or wanted to be subscribed to my cigar pack said, "Hey, when are you going to bring out a Lancero pack?" I'm like, "Hey, say no more. We got it." So we went for it. It's proved to be a successful placement just because the reaction has been good, but it could have gone either way, to be honest. And I think one of the things, and again, this is not saying that we're special because of it or taking credit for it, but I haven't really seen a lot of Lanceros in other subscriptions or other packs. So I said I think this could only go good for us, and I think people are going to be happy. So that's a behind the curtain reason of why we did this.
This barber pole with you got two different wrappers. You have basically uncured tobacco making up the green tobacco, and then you have the cured tobacco on the 2012 Oscar. And this is just a phenomenal looking barber pole. I love it. Very, very good. Love that. Yeah, I like Lanceros from a standpoint of being able to try the tobacco with some strength behind it, and you get a lot of flavor from the wrapper. I don't like Lanceros from the standpoint of it takes some more concentration. So if you over smoke them and you get them too hot, they can get too bitter. They oftentimes go out because there's not a big enough ember to always keep them going. So it just takes a little more thought. So if you're going to smoke a Lancero, I always say just get in the mindset, get in the place.
Yeah, and the artistry. I mean, I saw a post, I think like 2 days ago from, Matthias Clock? If you don't know him, follow him. He's got a great account. He's very knowledgeable. He's from New York. We've become friends over time. He's a great guy, amazing photographer, does events. And he has a very engaging account. He does a lot of that question stuff like that. And one of these days he posted, just because it's a Lancero doesn't mean it's good. It's a very ambiguous statement on a first plane, but it's very real just because the Lanceros are so hyped and they're so rare, not in the sense as they're like unicorn rare, but you don't see them in every line. You just see them every now and then, and they don't sell that well just because, how particular they are with in the market. So when you get a good Lancero, it's a really special experience. And I say this objectively, just because there are so many components in the process of not just making them, but actually smoking them and making sure that you're not, smoking too fast and heating these up. And when you're actually getting after that Lonsdale length and you're keeping that same pace, just so you don't overheat, because the cylinder is much thinner and it's just harder to blend the same ratio that you got in a Toro and a Robusto, which everybody traditionally blends in, and get that relative ratio towards the thinness of the Lancero. So if you can make a really good Lancero or make it a successful blend ratio in the Lancero, and you can actually enjoy the experience without, getting impatient, and if you have the time for it, and if the Lancero is built correctly with the ratio, it's going to be an unbelievable experience. But then again, just because it's a Lancero doesn't really mean it's good or exotic or
right
or special.
I love it. It's good though to bring that to the club and let people try it out and get it inside their monthly subscription. So obviously you're also hearing your customers, listening to them, and you're going to launch MC3.
Did you see the plane?
Yeah. MC3P. So if you go to mycigarpack.com /3, you can then get not everything, but you can get 3 cigars instead of 5 cigars every
But
month.
they're different from what you've received. So the MCP3 is just a 3 cigar selection, but we wanted to make it different than so if you want to have the normal, the 5 cigar, mild to medium, and the MCP3, you're not going to be getting the 3 of the same ones that you already got. So they're completely different.
Wow. You can add so much to your subscription. You can get the 5-pack, then you can add the factory direct, then you could add the 3. I mean, ultimately, you could have almost a half full humidor.
Yeah, listen, we're not claiming here that we're breaking ground here or reinventing the wheel. I mean, a lot of clubs already have the 3. I mean, most started with a 3 cigar option. We just thought it was better to focus on a 5-pack option. But then again, the feedback, a lot of people were like, I don't smoke enough, or I just want 3. I'm okay with 3, or I want to have multiple 3 cigar subscriptions, and you only offer 5. So we want to do that, but at the same time, we thought it through just to be smart with the selection that we placed, and we have a really ample arsenal so that we can play around with different selections and have 13 different cigars in a month, and not really burn out these specific lines in any given month. So next month, actually nobody was supposed to get the MCP3, and Brian Glynn from Cigar Obsession mistakenly got it. But this next month, everybody's going to get, you're going to get the MCP3, and other people are going to get our media partners are going to get the MCP3, which I'm really pumped about. We're going to have an Avo LE 2019. I have some stock that I've been aging for 2 years, and it's an unbelievable cigar. It's a $24.99 for the 3 cigars, shipped free, and the Avo itself costs about $15 or $16. So it's going to be a really cool placement with the MCP3.
Love it. Appreciate you just tailoring to all of us what we need and what we want.
I appreciate the feedback, because if people don't tell me, I'm like, we're doing things, we're okay.
Yeah, right. Exactly. If you don't hear anything, then you're doing it right, and it's good to get feedback from customers on what they want. So
especially you, when you call me, and you have a very special angle with a lot of these things. I remember you telling me, I want to be hit with some emotion before anything. I want to see boom, emotional connection just before I see anything else. I'm like, that's actually, I love it.
Yeah.
Let's go for an emotional connection.
Yeah, this connection to the factory, William Ventura, and other factories that you highlight, to me, that just it's like putting me in the Dominican Republic or in Nicaragua to try to see what this is all about. And with Oster, it's putting me into the Mayan culture. So this is bringing back feelings of being there. But for everyone else who hasn't been able to be there, it's like, take a little journey, go with us, go and experience what this culture means to these cigar makers, because every single cigar maker has a different story and a different connection to the culture that they are bringing to you. And it's part of the journey that I love every day when I smoke cigars.
Absolutely.
What else is coming up, Alex? Anything else that we want to highlight? I mean, I feel like
absolutely we do. There's a lot of things coming up, man. We've got a special brand that's going to be teased. Let's call it teased in the upcoming packs. It's called Makerspace. Makerspace. Here, Cigar Club, the Tiger. Dave's here, which is perfect timing. Just because what I'm talking about is going to be related to Dave. We did a small. We were featured in a small podcast in TPE where Dave graciously invited us, and we agreed to start working together in different things. And I think that's awesome, just because I've been such a big fan of cigarclub.com and Dave, and what he's done and how he's enhanced the club and the experience, and always, obviously, as I tell him, keep us in check, making sure we're doing things correctly. And I'm pretty sure in a way we've pushed them. So that's pretty cool. Makerspace it's not a brand that we've done from scratch. It's actually a really old and aged inventory that we're buying from a special particular factory, a production that was made in 2010. I've been smoking the cigars for the last month, and they're unbelievable. They're not going to have that complexity that you find on new and fresher blends, but it's going to be it's going to have like that Cuban feel in the smoke, like that very easy, mellow experience in the smoke. So we bought a chunk of that inventory that was made for a very special project back in the day, and that project was shut down abruptly. So those cigars were sitting there. I'm going to get more details coming out soon, but makerspace means collaboration and working in unity. And this is a perfect time for us to use this unity that we have with cigarclub.com to potentially introduce these cigars to the market and to people. It's going to be a one-time run for these, just because there's a limited amount of inventory, but there's enough for a lot of people. There's enough even for a few shops to buy. So that's coming down the pike. For next month, we're going to do the teas, and then we're going to arrange how the cigars are going to be released with the bands. They're going to be band lists for this upcoming month, but Dave's going to release them probably. We're going to release them. They're going to come out to the general public, but we're going to be featuring the Queen's Pearls Lancero. We're going to have I'm not sure if it's going to be the total exclusivity, but at least for a few months, we're going to have the Queen's Pearls Lancero. I saw some people were smoking it in the show. I'm like, hey, Henderson, shut up, man. This is top secret.
That's my favorite cigar from 2019.
I saw your eyes popping, man. I know.
Queen's Pearl is my favorite cigar from 2019. It was unbelievable blend. I haven't even smoked the King's whatever, the counterpart to it.
Oh,
that cigar is phenomenal. And the band is made out of metal, which is just unique. It's like a metal foil.
Yeah.
It has this like very rustic, very old traveler. It's so good. It's such a well blended Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper. Is so phenomenal. And now in Lancero, I am so excited for that.
Yeah, pumped about that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna release some patina. We're gonna do some lampreys that have been thrown around here and there. The amazing cigar, amazing price for the cigars as well.
Robusto, which is very short, is phenomenal because you can smoke that in the morning with coffee and not feel like you're wasting it.
Yeah, that's a short Robusto. I think that's my favorite size. That was too small. I remember you and I had this conversation back in the day. People would want to see something at least Robusto size. So we brought the normal Robusto size for Lampert. Those are going to be shipping out next week. And then a few really interesting projects. September, we're going to be introducing, and I think we may get at least for some time, exclusivity. Again, we're not interested. We're not that kind of people that are interested in exclusive products, but just if other people get their hands on it, that's amazing because that's the whole idea. But we're going to do a lost and found antique line, takeover, let's call it that, with Robert Caldwell in September. The inventory is the product is just, it's probably one of the best. And I'm not saying it to hype it. I'm just saying that was found for these cigars is just, I have no idea how the cost is good enough to make it viable for us and other people. And then October, we're doing something really fun with Crown Heads and Room 101. I lost you there for a sec. Can you hear me? I don't know. I'm gonna see. Yeah, you froze. I'm okay. Let's see if you can get back. Man, I'm not surprised there's a technical difficulty here. Let me call you. All right, guys, I'm calling Rob just to make sure that we're Hey, bro, you froze, but apparently on my end and YouTube Live, it's showing to be okay. John, dude, not me. I think we can tell for sure now. Oh, you're back.
It's totally you, Alex. It's totally you.
I
Anytime you come on my show, I have catastrophic failures.
I just got a text from Dave. He's like, we can hear you just fine.
I love it. It wouldn't be a opportunity to sit down with Alex unless we had some sort of catastrophe technologically. It just is what it is. I got a black cloud of technology over my head. Do you want to hit the screensaver button? Alex brings it out of me because he's like, hey, this is really important. I want to do this with you. And I'm like, great. I can't do it because I'm having technical difficulties. So
I've embraced it. Listen, I think it's a thing. Some people were commenting. John Foval there is commenting, dude, tell me we're not having technical issues again. So I've definitely embraced it. But yeah, I'm cool with this. So next October, as I was saying, we're doing something really cool with John Huber and Matt, Room 101. November, something cool. And then December, we're doing something amazing with Alec Bradley. So a lot of things down the pike. And then 2022 is a year that we release all the brands that we've been working on for this year.
Go to John's comment. Haha, they had that fixed way faster than last time.
Yeah.
I couldn't affect it. So this time it was just a little internet hiccup, a little burp. So
a little burp. Yeah, that's not bad. But yeah, that's what we got. That's what we got coming down the pike. 2022 is going to be a really fun year. I'm really excited. A lot of people are smoking and they're engaging. It's fun. It's a really cool niche to be part of. If you're, a guy like My Cigar Pack, like a community like My Cigar Pack or cigarclub.com and other participants that also do a great job, guys of luxury and what have you. So, really happy to have the opportunity to do this. And then, the more we grow, the more we can do these things. So I'm really thankful and humbled by the support of, from everybody and yourself and, guys like the Fife.
Bottom one. Yeah, the Fife. So, Justin, you said, Bova just means you got to get Alex live in the studio with you. We ended up doing that for Box Press interview with Alex. We brought him into the studio. He flew like right after COVID was just starting to get released.
Yeah.
Are you able to get out? And he's like, yeah, I'm able to get out. I'm going to come. And I'm like, great. We're going to do live in the studio. And correct me, I don't think we had any technical difficulties when you were in the studio.
We had a little hiccup to start, but then it was good.
What was that?
I don't remember. It was Ramsey was trying to set up something when we had like a three time reset and then we got it going. And that what we did before that I pretended to freeze, but that was just joking. That was great. Yeah, exactly.
I love it. So even when we do bring Alex in, apparently we still have technical difficulties. So it is what it is.
It happens.
It happens, and we love you for it. Thank you for being gracious. Thank you for coming and exiting your lunch early this afternoon and getting in here and giving us the opportunity to see all this glorious stuff that you're bringing us. We love it. If you guys need more, I got links to this month's in the description on YouTube. I have links to this pack. You can get whatever you want from there. Head over to mycigarpack.com. If you want to buy cigars, there's links right there to buy them. You can go over to Cigar Yard and buy the 10-pack of the El Mysterious Tiger. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for watching this Friday. We started a little bit late, but we're glad to be here. And what better opportunity to talk with Alex and smoke cigars on Friday. Thank you, Alex, so much.
No, thank you, Rob. I'm always happy to be here. I'm very thankful of everybody that takes time out of their day to join these two hoots talking cigars. So I love that. And, thank you, man. Just really happy to be working together always and having these fun and relaxing times and telling people what we're going to do. So, till the next time. All right, everybody. Rob has apparently exited early, so I'm just going to shut this down. Have a great weekend. Much love. Happy Friday. Get your drink on. Get your smoke on. See you soon.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Rob. Love you, bud.
Love you too, man.
Take care.
Oh, peace out.